Action Man. You actually remind me of, you remember the bearded Action Man?
Yeah.
You remind me of John Palmer, it always has done. I'm actually John the Orthodox, and I'm in the Orthodox Church, but I won't mention it too much because if they hear my act, they'll probably throw me out of it, you know. Anyway, congratulations to Aston Villa. Did you see the game last night? Magnificent game. I mean, commiserations to Brighton, but I think they should appreciate a group of young athletic men coming from behind, you know, because they come from Brighton. You know? Today I'm wearing red nickels. You know, that's one of my favourite trumpeters. Anyway, I'm going to do a lot of material, which I was going to do last week, but I didn't because it was American Thanksgiving Day, and you know what? I still can't remember. I've still got my notes, so I really had extra long to remember it, but I haven't done it. I was at the musical interlude last week during the Thanksgiving, and I brought out my pocket trumpet. You know, not that one, the other one, and. Anyway, I'm going to talk. Funny, we've got an African guest. I'm going to talk a bit about Africa because I actually live with Ghanaians. Now I've been living with Ghanaians for about a Ghanaian couple, and before that, I was married. I'm still married to an Angolan woman, former freedom fighter, if you believe that. The difference between Ghanaians and Angolans is a bit like the difference between someone who likes 2 tea bags in the cup and a crack addict. You know. I mean, the difference between Angolans and Ghanaians is the difference between people who had to endure a 30-year civil war and people who got into a bit of a scuffle outside the embassy in Accra because somebody tried to queue jump, you know. Accra sounds like, that's the capital of Ghana, it sounds like you're clearing your throat, doesn't it? The difference between a Ghanaian and an Angolan is a bit like the difference between a Labrador and a sloth bear. Now, a sloth bear is not the most dangerous bear in the world, but it is the most vicious, and it always attacks your face, especially if you look like Jimmy Carr, you know. I mean, who would win in a fight between Jimmy Carr and Alan Carr? Alan Carr, because I'd give him a gun, you know. Yeah, I mean, he's quite popular in America now, though, Jimmy Carr. I mean, probably because of the friends he's made, but let's not talk about that very much. Yeah, he's very popular in America, but a lot of the thing is crowd work, you know. And if he's that good at crowd work, he should become a football steward down at Millwall or something. That might be the job. No, he's good at crowd work. It's like if I picked on somebody now, all right, you'd probably get some funny line out of it, but the crowd work is like, is somebody been on benefits for 20 years, and how did they afford to get into the concert, you know? So a lot of them, I'm not saying he uses plants in the audience, but it is a bit like Day of the Triffids going in, you know what I mean? Anyway, where am I? I thought I'd get this little notebook and make it easier, but it's actually made it harder. Yeah, no, yeah. Or maybe I've numbered it wrong. That's probably what it is. Oh, there we are. I'm back to it again. Yeah. I did anyway. I should actually remember what this. I did actually go to a Ghanaian party last week, and it was very different. It was very different to the Angolan parties. I mean, it was almost like the BBC had made like what they thought was an African party, and it was, you know, like they did with Peaky Blinders, what they thought Birmingham was like, you know. And it was like that. It was first I thought it was strange that there was no alcohol. I mean, how can you have an African party and there's no alcohol, you know? And then there was no alcohol, but also it wasn't like an Angolan party, because an Angolan party, there's always like an argument. There's always somebody dancing with somebody's wife, and he's touched her ass, and he says it's a mistake. And the Angolan party, they go on to about 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, whereas this Ghanaian party finished about 10. And then I was quite amazed by that. The thing about African parties is there's always some like geeky white guy going there, you know, and he always complains, says the food's crap, and he's always dancing like Mr. Bean, you know, he doesn't get the music at all, you know, and he's always, every time a woman walks past, he's always checking out her ass, you know, he's obviously just gone there on the pool, he's not, you know. And the Africans, they really hate that sort of white guy going to the parties, but they keep inviting me, you know. I can't see if I get back on it. My wife, as I said, is from Angola, and the thing about Angolans is, I think I could probably remember this second actually. The thing about Angolans is, a lot of Africans, when they see you, they sort of try to make out you're racist or a colonialist, and if you're Tommy Robinson, they call you a fascist. Mind you, if he goes to an English party, he's called a fascist as well, so there's no difference there really either. And when it's Angolans, I always say, what about Cabinda? And then their face goes as low as whale shit, you know? Because because Cabinda is actually a colony that is owned by Angola. It's a colony that Angola took over, you know? And in 1885, the Portuguese signed a treaty with the people of Cabinda, and they said they would protect them forever, and it was going to be independent and all this sort of thing. And that lasted about 90 years. And then they, in 1975, they left as quickly as a group of Ukrainian rent boys do out through the back door when Mrs. Starmer comes home, you know? Oh, I thought that was a good one. Anyway, yeah, and and then the Angolans arrived. And the Congolese wanted Cabinda to be part of Congo because they're the same people, they speak the same language, the same race, everything's the same. It just, 90 years ago, somebody drew a line on a map, and they said that was Portugal, that was France, that was Belgium. And they said that so they wanted Cabinda to be back to part of Congo. But the Angolans said no. And the Angolans had their own idea why it should be part of Angola. And that's because it's got a fucking shitload of oil, you know? I mean, it's got loads of oil there. And that oil has kept all the rich people in Angola going to their parties, and they've had a 50-year piss up, the Angolans, all thanks to this oil, you know? And but if you actually go to Cabinda, I mean, you have to drive out of Luanda, which is, anyone knew that was the capital of Angola? Yeah. A liar. No, you have to drive out of Luanda, and you go 200 miles or so up the road, unless you're going by a Range Rover, and then you've broken down in the outskirts of Luanda, and you're surrounded by a crowd. Your Range Rovers are quite unreliable these days. Anyway, they are, aren't they? You get to the River Congo, which, this is a little fact, is the deepest river in the world. You know. So yeah, it is the deepest river in the world. So if you ever kill your mother-in-law and you want to find somewhere to hide the body, yeah, it's a good place, believe me. I mean, even if it doesn't sink to the bottom, it'd probably get eaten by crocodiles, wouldn't it? So just a little, just a little fact. Yeah. Well, anyway, if you cross the River Congo, you're still in. You leave Angola and you're in Congo still. So you have to drive another 20 miles up the road, and then you reach Cabinda. And you'll find it's absolutely covered with Angolan flags. I mean, there's Angolan flags in the street, there's Angolan flags in the hotels, and Angolan flags in the toilets. You know, they do actually use those for something, but not me. But the Angolan flag itself is sort of like some sort of communist sort of thing, left over from communism, but they never got round to changing the flag anyway. Without the invasion of the Angolans, they'd be living like probably be the richest country in Africa. That's not saying much, really. It's like having the only council flat in Newtown that wasn't broken into, as me. But you know, it's still fairly. They'd still be living a lot better than they are today, you know. But anyway, with that money, it's sort of like Cabinda is sort of like a geographical Jesus Christ, you know. Like Jesus turned water into wine. Well, in Cabinda, the crude oil is changed into champagne and beer and big cakes that you could hollow out and live inside, because the parties in Luanda are really big, and apparently they're bigger than what I suspect. I know somebody used to go to me, so they're massive parties. And also the oil from Cabinda, it goes to buying air tickets to London, you know. They all come to London and they say, well, I couldn't live in Angola, I just couldn't live it. I mean, I was living in the only house in the street that didn't have a swimming pool, you know, I just couldn't carry on living like that. And then they said, well, and I couldn't work because I just had my nails done, you know. So, I mean, my wife used to say she was a rebel fighter and all this sort of thing, but her brother lived in a house with a swimming pool, you know, so. I used to hear a lot about, the rebels, and the only rebel was me in the end. I was the only one who believed it. Everybody else was involved with the government, and that's how they got to come over here. Anyway, I think that's about what I'm going to say about Angola. Yeah. Well, my wife actually, I'll go on to some more conventional British jokes. My wife actually had some food poisoning the other day. She poisoned something. She had to go to hospital, and it was a complete accident. I mean, I didn't have anything to do with it. It was a complete accident. I was actually saving that bottle for when her mother came round, you know. I got a bottle of, Lidl's Tropical Crush. I had a bottle of that, and I tipped some of it down the sink. God help anything that was living in that sink, it's probably dead now. And then I mixed some cyanide in, and I thought, well, if the cyanide didn't kill her, the Lidl Tropical Crush will probably kill her. Anyway, my dad was telling me the other day about a story. He tells the same story over and over again. I did hear the story again about when my grandfather died, my mother's father. He left in his will that he wanted his dog put to sleep. And probably the vet didn't do it. It was an expensive dog apparently. Anyway, he wanted his dog put to sleep. And I said to my dad, look, if I die tomorrow, and I put down in my will that I want my dog put to sleep. I'm not talking about an animal, I'm talking about my wife. You know? Well, yeah. Well, it was. I did have some jokes about America because it was American, and I didn't get to do them because I was doing music, wasn't I, all last weekend? What has America given the world? America's given the world American football. Does anyone like American football?
Yeah.
Liar. No, it's all right. I mean, I couldn't actually get it. I couldn't actually understand what it was about. It's like rugby, but everybody runs into each other, you know. Yeah. Well, I suppose you're supposed to try to avoid people, aren't you? And then I was outside Primark, and I saw the security guards trying to stop the shoplifters coming out, and then I got it. That's American football. That's where it's come from. Yeah. What was the first country? What was the first friends of America? It was the French.
Morocco.
Morocco.
Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah, they've been the first country to recognize America.
Oh well, you got me. You killed my joke then. But didn't the French? I'm going to get and do a history debate with them. All right, the first country to recognise America was Morocco. Well, that killed my joke. Good.
But the French
What was the second?
French. Yeah, we're going to. Yeah, thanks for that. Thanks for. The second. What was the second country? Morocco is actually quite a credible country. Isn't it? France. Thank you. I'll carry on now. Thank you. Anyway, so the French were the first. Were the second people. That when America went onto the basketball court, they got up and they sort of fist punched them, you know. And so France thought that the United States was a good idea, which says a lot for the Americans, I'm afraid. George, how bad this guy's here, I'll tell you. You'll have to come every week. Well, just come when I'm on, I tell you. But George Washington actually believed in hanging traitors. That was one of his policies. He should have really looked at himself. I mean, let's face it, he was fighting for the king one minute and he changed sides. Apparently, when the British lost the war, we lost it, I mean, let's face it. When the British lost the war, George Washington was complaining that we took our slaves with them. You know, we took the people, a lot of slaves had fought for us, and he said we should return the slaves, and apparently some of the slaves were his. I mean, it's like we were heading off with a deep fat fryer or something. You know, he wanted it all back, but and then he talked about. I've slagged off George Washington here before. I have to pick another historical figure to pick on. I'm afraid. Yeah. There we are. How long have I got?
2 minutes.
2 minutes. Ooh. A lot of people that I've met. A lot of people that I've met, I told this joke before and it fell really flat, so I'm going to try it again. A lot of people I met, I've got children, and my children are mixed race, you know, but they do. You can see and think, yeah, that's a bit of the old ugliness about John there, you know. You can see they're my kids, you know. And but some people, they have kids, and the kids don't look anything like them. Have you ever met those people? Yeah, and I met this one. I met this African guy, and he had a kid, and it was actually this is quite a sad story. I shouldn't actually. It's not actually nothing funny about it. I found it funny myself, but It's a bit like when Prince Harry was born. You know, everyone looks around and they think, well, who the hell is, you know, who the hell's the father? Well, anyway, the child was born, and I went round to see him, and my wife said, "Who does the child look like?" And I'm looking around like just like Prince Charles or whatever it was on that night. I'm looking around, and then there's this guy going like that, and I thought, "Oh yeah, it looks like you." But the child was, I mean, he was black and his wife was white, and the child was very white. You know, it was like I had to put my sunglasses on to look at it. You know, but anyway, and I met this Afghan guy once, and he was. You know, I'm telling this story. And I don't think there's any punchline to it. Maybe that's why I didn't get a laugh the first time. I should think of a punchline before I actually tell it, shouldn't I? Anyway, there are a lot of things I like about America, and I like jazz music, obviously. I've got the T-shirt on, and I like rock and roll, and I'm getting to sound like G-string, aren't I? Yeah. I'm just trying to think of a punchline. Yeah. But the thing about Angolan people is. I'll go back to Angolan people. Yeah, they are generally nice people. You know, they are. I was working with this African guy the other day, and I said, "Well, where are you from?" And he said, "I have a guess." And I said, "Are you from Nigeria?" And he said, "No." I asked him if he was from Zimbabwe. He said no. And I thought he must be from Ghana, because the loads where I work are from Ghana, a lot of And I said no. He said no. I thought, where the hell is he from? And I put my hand in my pocket, and I found my wallet had gone. I said, "You're from Angola." Yeah, thanks for that. Yeah. Yeah, but my wife is a lovely person, really. I suppose, and other things I don't mean. No, she's nice enough. She's pretty enough, yeah, that's for sure. But maybe I shouldn't go for looks in the future, you know. Anyway, that's about it. I don't think I've sort of run out of steam. I think.
Preparing to kill his wife.
Yeah.
John Fowler, soon to be the High Commissioner to Angola.
Yeah, I had it all written down. And I don't know what it was. You couldn't follow it.
Down there and then a left.
I don't know. Yours